You know what are really good? York peppermint patties. But that has absolutely no relevance to today's video. So today I wanted to take some time and I wanted to talk about yoga. So in the past year or so, yoga has been getting really big because all of a sudden a lot of people have realized the potential and health benefits of doing yoga, and it's kind of taken like a paradigm shift where if you used to do yoga, it was like, what a lunatic, he does yoga. And now it's kind of moved into like it's almost a cool thing. And at least in my town, it's become popular because a yoga studio opened up around a year or two ago, and a lot of people have been going to that now. And you also have to do yoga in the P90X 1 and 2 series. And before that, I think a lot of people that hadn't done yoga, they thought, oh yeah, yoga is sissy and girly. And then those of the people that did it on P90X realized like, holy crap, this just kicked my butt. So really, I guess you could say is that yoga has gained a lot of respect, and it's now like an appreciated exercise, which is a great thing because yoga is honestly probably the best exercises you could do if you want to like live longer. It's just in general, it's like flexibility and strength, but not like huge rip muscle strength. And it's really good for your mind, and it's a solid thing. Pardon my stutters. And I think it's a great thing that people are taking these steps to like, you know, becoming healthier, because in the world right now, at least over here in like first world countries, obesity is like a huge problem. I heard a fact that in America, like 1 in 4 people are overweight, or 1 in 3 people. And I mean, that's a really large number. And I mean, Canadians are only right behind that number, so it's a major concern. And my phone just went off. And I think another reason why yoga has caught on so much is that it's so different from the stereotypical like going for a run or just like doing arm curls all day. It's like a totally new thing that's not new at all. And it kind of gives people like a sense of originality because they're like, oh yeah, you know, I don't go to the gym and do this, I just do yoga and it's really good for me and it makes me feel good, and it's like almost a sense of prestige. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I honestly think that's great that people, if they want to exercise, you know, like there's not many better ways to do it. And I personally have been doing yoga for over a year now, and I love yoga. It's just a great thing to do. Like I love going through all the motions, and like you feel so calm after you're done, and like you get a really solid sweat from it. It's a great way to stay in shape. And at first, when I was gonna do this video, I was gonna talk about how like, I don't know, yoga has helped me in my flexibility and that sort of, I was gonna go kind of at a positive, but I had a conversation with my friend today and it really got me thinking. So we're gonna stop it right here, and then starting now, we're gonna go from the changed perspective of me. We're going this way, now we're going this way. So yoga is definitely a great thing, and I do love it, and I don't wanna bash on it. But yoga is so stereotyped with, it's gonna make you a more flexible person, and that is such like a negative part about it. Because so many people do yoga, and I used to be one of them, and I said, you know what, yoga is what made me flexible. And I'd love to sit here and say how that's true, however, that's not 100% the truth. Yoga is kind of like an obese person taking some sort of diet supplement pill, and however, at the same time also I guess just making healthier eating choices. So like instead of eating, you know, fried food all day, they're eating like apples and vegetables and like lean meats and stuff of that nature. So basically what I mean is, if this person who is obese is taking this pill and they're also eating really healthy, they're probably gonna think that, hey, you know, this pill is doing miracles and it's making me so much skinnier. Because really, like how in our society it works is that our minds think that, you know, like normal stuff that everybody already knows about isn't the solution. People think that it's some huge like new discovered technology that's really gonna be the big changing in whatever you're talking about. So again, this person's like, they're taking their pill and it's this new discovered pill that is it's so amazing and wonderful, and really they think that it's all the pill that's doing it, when it's more like half and half, that yes, the pill is helping, however, if you are eating healthy, it's doing at least half the work, if not more. Yoga is the exact same thing. In the same sense that an obese person will think that eating healthy will only make a minor difference in their health, it's the exact same way with yoga. So what I mean is that yoga is like it's the new technology. It's like no one's really done it before, so they're not expecting anything, but it's so hyped up that it's supposed to make you more flexible that our minds are like, hey, this is the new wonder drug or the new wonder exercise, and this is gonna make me flexible. And this is what I mean. When you're doing yoga, probably at least 40% of everything you're doing is just a stretch. It's not some like super complicated, like position it like moves the nerve fibers in you that it magically makes you flexible. Basically, all you're doing when you do yoga is stretching, and you have like a certain flow to the motions that you're doing. So an example of this would be the yoga move called forward fold. Okay, so in a yoga move, this is what forward fold would be like. So I'd raise my hands up over my head, I'd come down in like a sort of swan dive motion, and then I would touch my toes like this. And I'd be breathing all the time, and I'd be trying to stretch and get closer to my head to my knees as I can. So you understand that. Now, some people may be thinking like, oh wow, that's a great yoga move to make my hamstrings more flexible. When really all you're doing is a hamstring stretch. If you've ever like laid on the floor and done the kind of like, you put you put your heel against your inner quad and then try to touch your toe, that's the exact same thing you're doing except standing up, and you have like flow to it. Like that's just one basic example, but I can think of so many things in yoga where it kind of feels like you're doing this advanced yoga move when all it is just a stretch. So it's the exact same thing as the obese person where like, yeah, yoga, like the movements and everything, it is definitely a help. It makes you better. But the majority of the movements you're doing is just a complicated stretch. I don't mean to down on it, it's a great thing, but it's just, people think like, they get in this yoga craze where it's like, yeah, yoga! And they don't really think like, I could just be stretching. So really, like if the only reason you're doing yoga is to get more flexible, I think you should reconsider why you're doing it and reconsider even doing it anymore, because you're actually wasting your time when you could just like go on the internet and get some great stretches for every part of your body, and you'd get more flexible in less time. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't do yoga, it's a great thing. I just think that you should reconsider like your values about why you're doing it, and kind of focus on like it makes you peaceful and relaxed, but instead of it just makes you flexible. Besides being relaxed and the flexibility, it also like increases balance. I've heard it increases strength for some positions. It definitely does in like your legs and your arms. It's also said to like, there's all these like really weird stuff, like it makes sex feel better and it makes your skin smoother. So yeah, that was a really super long video. Basically, the moral of it is just that, yoga is more than flexibility. It's just everything all across the board in terms of fitness. That's all I really wanted to say.